We're back. Here we go. What's a guy supposed to do at a time like this? Silence is more precious than diamonds, witness. Therefore, you need only stay silent. The defense is devious. They are waiting for you to make a slip of the tongue. Oh, I see. So that's why what they're after, isn't it? In that case, Your Honor, I've decided not to say another word. Very good. After all, your right to remain silent is protected by law. Well, Prosecutor Blackwell, any other brilliant ideas you'd like to share? Did you hear that, Sykes-Tono? A Rakugo artist who's afraid to speak. Who ever heard of such a thing? Are you trying to taunt him into talking? Such a petty trick will never work. That's right. I'm not gonna fall for it. I'm only asking to hear your story. Besides, is it not your job to tell your tales if there is an audience to listen? Even so, I have the right to refuse to answer. The more you keep quiet, the more we want you to talk. That's simply human nature. Isn't that right? People of the gallery! Even with this wonderful audience in front of you, you still refuse to talk. If so, then perhaps you chose the wrong line of work, my friend. Are you saying I should quit? Because I'm not afraid to speak my mind, I'll have you know. Oh no! Never mind what I just said. It is scary to talk. It's absolutely terrifying. But no, as a Rakugo artist, I must talk. If I don't, how can I ever show my face on stage again? Your Honor, I'm ready to testify. He did it. He managed to convince Uendo with his power of suggestion technique. Bully for you, Uendo. That's as a real Rakugo artist should be. All right. If the witness wishes to testify, then by all means, please do. To be turned by such an obvious ploy. What a man of weak spirit. Man, Sadmani's getting owned in this trial. Interesting. In the dressing room. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shisho slumped over the table, motionless. That wasn't much. From what I can tell, there do not appear to be any inconsistencies in the testimony. Of course there aren't any. Because I'm not trying to hide anything. Prosecutor Sadmari's right. I don't see anything inconsistent either. I still love that idol animation. It's so cute. But I did pick up on some faint discord in Uendo's heart. Oh, are we doing the emotion thing? Ponder all you would like, defense, but it is pointless. Your Honor, I believe there is no need for a further deliberation. Prosecutors always try that. They're always like, all right, that's all good. Judge, I think we're all good. Yeah. And we always object. We're always like, hold on, you can't just do your part of the trial and then go like, so, I think everyone's made their case. I disagree, Your Honor. I detect discord in the voice of the witness's heart. That's a clear indication that Uendo is facing some sort of inner turmoil. Are you saying what I think you're saying, Miss Sykes? Yes, Your Honor. The defense would like to conduct a quick therapy session on this witness. Uendo, there is no need for you to submit to this so-called therapy. Sadmari, have you seen this before? Because it's pretty cool. It's fine by me. I have nothing to hide. Bring it on. He's angry. Impetus fool. Why would you not listen to the guidance of this humble servant to the Holy Mother? If the witness wishes to proceed, I see no problem, prosecutor. In one ear, out the other. It seems this performer has no need for your so-called guidance, Prosecutor Sad Monk. Just know this, Uendo. Your folly will surely earn you divine retribution. Thanks, Simon. I'm gonna make the most out of this opportunity you created for me. Just keep your wits about you. I will. Uendo, Could you tell us again about what happened in the dressing room? Here we go. Therapy session. Whoop. It's probably going to teach me how it works because this is the first time in this game, huh? But I remember. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shisho slumped over the table, motionless. Okay. Alright. So he is sad, but he doesn't look shocked. Huh, I didn't really notice any unexpected emotions in that testimony. But it isn't always a question of the presence of an emotional response, but the absence. You know, you're right. It's not always the emotions I do see. Sometimes it's a matter of what I don't, but would expect to see. Yeah, the shock, right? I better be carefully comparing it to the emotions, statement to the emotions. Wow, it's not even teaching me how this works. What if you... Oh, wait, do they have one earlier in the game? They might have in Trial 2, actually. I can't remember. Okay, so, it's the lack of shock, right? So you're sad, very sad, but you're not shocked. Uendo, I'm noticing something strange with these emotions. Something stranger with cheesy toe skin, you say? No, something strange with these emotions. How could you have heard something strange with cheesy toe skin? I don't know. Maybe it's me who's got some cheese in my ears. Did he will the floor to open up and swallow his cushions out of shame for that bad joke? The point I'm trying to make is that I noticed something unexpected in your emotions. Now stop hiding and come out where we can see you. Bailiff, please bring the witness a few replacement cushions. Too many. So what was this unexpected thing you noticed? Oh, come on, it's on a set of few cushions, not a few dozen. Now that we've had all had a good laugh, please continue, Miss Sykes. Who's laughing? Focus, Athena. Don't let yourself get rattled. Alright, hold on. Whoop. Okay. Focus, Athena. Don't let yourself get rattled. When you entered the room and saw your master slumped motionless over the table, you weren't the least bit shocked, Uendo. Don't you think that's a little odd? Is it though? The lack of surprise means you were prepared for what you saw. And I think I know why. The reason Uendo wasn't shaken when he saw his master's dead body is because he knew about his master's death. That's the only thing that makes sense. Uendo, I think maybe the reason you weren't shaken was because you already knew you would find your master dead. What? What kind of thing is that to say? You've got it all wrong. Oh, right. I just remembered something. I thought Shisho was just sleeping when I first saw him. Okay. Got 50% of it. You thought he was sleeping. It sounds plausible, but... Well, no, but he was sad. What made you think he was asleep? Well, he had his head and arms on the table as if he were taking a nap. Well, he had his face in a bowl of... Oh, and one other thing. There was that note, too. A note? What note? He must be talking about this. Resting, do not disturb. It appears to have been written by the victim. Allow me to read it. Resting, do not disturb. Yes, that's the note I saw. After reading that, who wouldn't think Shisho was napping? That is a pretty reasonable assumption. You've got to be kidding me. Okay. Got it. That's right. I saw this note, so that's why I thought Shisho was asleep. I want to change my testimony to include that statement. Alright, I'll run an update. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. Info update. When I opened the door, I thought he was sleeping. But something seemed off, so I rushed over to him. I was shocked to find him dead. I couldn't believe my eyes. So what's the anger for? I rushed over to him. What are you angry about? That seems odd. Uendo, I noticed something funny in your emotions again. Funny, you say? I guess an entertainer of my caliber can make people laugh even with my emotions. I didn't mean that kind of funny. Quite the opposite, actually. When you entered the dressing room, I see that you suddenly felt anger. What I want to know is, what made you feel angry all of a sudden? What? Huh. Let's see, oh yeah, now I remember. I was going in, as I was going in, I whacked my little piggy on something. I was annoyed at my own clumsiness. Wait, you mean you stubbed your pinky toe? Just a little bump on my little piggy. No big deal. It's embarrassing, really. Sounds more like he's hiding something. I'd better dig a bit deeper. No need to be embarrassed, Uendo, but I'm afraid it's something we need to look into. I don't really see anything you could have stubbed your toe on in the area around the dressing room door in this picture. But maybe there was something there at the time. Uendo, what exactly did you stub your toe on? What an irrelevant question. You dishonor the soul of the victim with these unnecessary delays. You tell her. Really, who doesn't stub their toe on every once in a while? You really gotta fuss over every small detail like this? Well, the thing is... even the most subtle fluctuations in a person's psyche can clue us into the truth. That's why it's important to get to the bottom of this question. Plus, if I back down now, who knows what new insult Simon will hurl my way. Is there really no trace left of what Uendo stubbed his toe on by the door? What in the world might have been there then, but is not there now? Alright, well... you'd think this, right? Since it could have kicked it. That's all I can really see. Uendo, is this what you stubbed your toe on? Oh, I failed it. Oh, I could never stub my toe on that. That would be really starting things out on the wrong foot. Right, Mr. Golden Ager? Golden Ager? Don't you dare send me into a retirement home yet, Sonny. Anyway, I hope Miss Sykes didn't stub her toes on her teeth as her foot entered her mouth. That's a really good thing. A really good quote. Hope you didn't stub your toe on your teeth as your foot entered your mouth. Well, in defense, are you ready to let it go and move on now? Of course not. What Uendo stubbed his little toe on is a vitally important question, I think. Is there really no trace? Well... oh, hang on. The table. The table's moved. That's like... is it this? Uendo, did you stub your toe on this table? Wait a minute. Well, it does appear that something hit the table and moved it. Uendo said he stubbed his toe as he was entering the dressing room. I thought that too. Yeah, and that table looks pretty far from the door. Could what bumped into the table also be a clue to what Uendo stubbed his toe on? It's interesting they have dialogue for that. Careless answers will only hurt us here. Think carefully before you speak again. Right. Is there really no trace left of what Uendo stubbed his... okay, so it didn't actually take away a point there. I like that. So they were like, you're wrong, but we can see how you got there. Well, there's like... I can see there's dust everywhere. So whatever this dust is... oh my gosh. I saved it already, right? So I'm going back to the title screen real quick. And refreshing this because I don't want to lose too many points early on something dumb. And it doesn't really matter. I mean, in this game, honestly, like, there's no real reason to have that many consequences. Let's see. What else could he have stubbed his toe on? The body? Because the body is too close to the table. If the table moved, I doubt it, but let's try it. Nope. That's not it. But it was worth a shot. I keep seeing like little clues and thinking I got it, but I mean, there's not much else you could have stubbed your toe on, right? Because I tried that. I tried the table. That? This? Maybe they moved that. Nope. I suck. I suck. I'm so bad. I'm the worst at this game. Sometimes. I'm occasionally the worst at this game. Ba 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 da 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 da. Okay. What else could you have stubbed your toe on? Could you have... So, okay, there's white dust everywhere. What could that have come from? The bowl? You couldn't have stubbed it on the fridge because the fridge is so far away. But I doubt it's this, whatever that is. I mean, alright, let's try the fridge. Nope. No, it's not the fridge. But I mean, like, what? Man, I'm not following what the game's getting at here. Normally with, like, select something in the picture ones, I nail it. Because it's like, I'm like, yeah, well, duh, of course. But I don't know with this one. Is it the TV? So as he was entering the room. So I thought it would have been this, but I guess not. Is it to do with this piece of paper? Nope! I suck so badly. I'm the worst. Achoo! Bless me. Achoo! I'm just gonna keep trying stuff because I don't know what they're getting at. What about the bottle? Nope. Pretty simple. Oh man. Okay. The broth. Nope. My goodness gracious me. Why do I suck so bad? My goodness gracious me. Why do I suck so bad? My goodness gracious me. Why do I suck so bad? My goodness gracious me. Why do I suck so bad? My goodness gracious me. Why do I suck so bad? I mean, I've done almost everything, right? I mean, oh, sorry about that. Let me just close that. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Oh, okay. TV. I'm trying to figure out why it would be the TV. I think I'm behind Athena on this one. She's smarter than I am, clearly. I mean, I know she's smarter than I am, but in this case, she knows what I don't know. Great. Please take a good look at this photo of the crime scene. Is it just that it's unplugged or what? Do you see it? This long track that goes from the door all the way across the room? I did not notice that. I did not notice that. Now that you mention it, I do see some traces of something getting dragged. And the drag mark ends at the TV. This implies the TV was originally by the door. I'm convinced that this TV is the object the witness stubbed his toe on. Well, Owendo, how about it? Yes, you're right. It was the TV. Oh, 10%. There. The noise level dropped again. Yes, I stubbed my pinky toe on the TV. But what of it? Why is this so important to you? So the noise went down, but it hasn't completely disappeared yet, which means he's still hiding something. Okay then, let's try this tactic instead. Owendo, why was the TV moved there? Shisho must have moved it so he could watch my routine. But what a place to put it, right in the middle of the doorway like that. I didn't want to bump into it again, so I put it back where it belonged. Performances on stage can be viewed in the dressing room using that TV. That's right. It's a closed circuit monitor that shows the stage. I see. Now what? I can't find anything else out of place, and I still haven't gotten the noise level down to 0 yet. Simon, I'm still getting noise here, but I don't see anything else fishy. This is precisely why amateurs are such a bother. Sorry. I'm in no mood to play nursemaid here, but if that's what it takes to save the soba shop. Oi, Owendo. Here's a curiosity for you. This table Master Tornado was slumped over looks like it was moved. Did you happen to bump into it while you were moving the TV back? Oh my, yes, you're right. The TV hit the table and Shisho's body moved with a jolt. That's when I first realized Shisho was dead. Oh, but how scared I was. I see. Thank you. We're finally getting a more precise picture of how the body was discovered. But I'd wager you need to put the spurs to Owendo just a trifle longer. Right. I can't keep asking Simon to bail me out like this. It's time for me to regain my footing and really stand on my own. Owendo, what you said just now about discovering your master's death, could you please describe all of that again for the court in detail? Alright. But before you do, let me just plug in the latest information. Okay. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called out to him from inside the room, but he didn't reply. When I opened the door, I thought he was sleeping. I tried to enter the dressing room, but stubbed my toe on the TV. When I put the TV back in its normal spot, I realized that Shisho was dead. Seeing him slumped over that cluttered table? Oh, Shisho. Okay. Seems okay. I'm not really seeing any emotions I'd consider out of place. How about you, Simon? How many times are you going to come running to me? No, I was just looking for a second opinion. Well, take another good look at the flow of emotions. Don't just look for simple inconsistencies. Look at the intensity of his emotions, too. I see. Thanks, Simon. Right, is it the fact that he seems more shocked by the end bit? Like, realized he was dead, and then way more shocked here than sad. Like, he was so surprised by something. I don't know. I don't know how that ties in, but that feels like it. That's odd. After the initial shock of finding the victim dead, you reacted with surprise again. What was that surprised you? What was it that surprised you, Owendo, besides your master's death? What do you mean? What's more, you were even more surprised the second time than the first. What could have surprised you more than finding your late master? Search me. Your little thing, you must have made a mistake. Silence. The girl is as sharp as a trout, to be sure. but her ability to hear people's emotions is absolute. Now get to remembering, Oendo. What was it that surprised you? I do like... that's a nice compliment. He said that, like, that our ability to see emotions is absolute. As in, he doesn't doubt it for a second. He's so confident in our ability to pick up emotions that he's just like, yeah, well, look, even if she's not the smartest person I've ever met, this is the one skill she has that's above anyone else. That was a compliment, right? I think it was. I was just saying how great it was. Well, Noise level 100%. No, we've pushed him too hard, and now he's mentally all over the place. His emotions are completely out of control. Out of control? Care to explain how that's relevant? You know how normally I listen for the hidden emotions in a witness's voice, right? From there, I look for inconsistencies between their testimony and those emotions. But sometimes a person's feelings can run too high, making it hard to get proper readings. So that's how your Matrix program works. Fascinating. Ordinarily, it's just one emotion that runs out of control, but it seems there's nothing ordinary about it this time. Everything's gonna be... Oh my goodness. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I opened the door, I thought he was sleeping. I tried to enter the dressing room, but stubbed my toe on the TV. When I put the TV back in its normal spot, I realized Shisho was dead. Seeing him slumped over the closet table. Oh, Shisho. I knew it. Huh. What's got your knickers all in a bunch now? Wendo has multiple emotions running out of control at the same time. I've never seen anything like this, ever. So, how does one bring a situation like this back under control? I'll have to find the root cause of this tangled mess before I can treat him. If I can identify what's causing this emotional rampage, then I can tap probe to dive in further. I need to point to what I think is the root cause and touch probe again. Through this process, I can identify exactly what's causing Wendo so much stress. And that will help bring his emotions back under control. In that case, let's get started, shall we? Alright, I can't guarantee success, but it's definitely worth a shot. Time to look for the root cause of Wendo's rampaging emotions. Okay. Went to visit Shisho. I'm just saving it here. Called to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I opened the door, I thought he was sleeping. Tried to enter the dressing room, stubbed my toes, put the TV back on the normal spot. Seeing him slumped over that cluttered table. Oh, Shisho. Is it the table itself? Like the character cards? That's my guess. Because that's what sent him out of control. I get it now. The cards were the root of it all. Don't try to deny it. You can't hide your feelings from me. The dying message that was left at the scene of the crime. That's what's causing your distress. And if the dying message was the cause of all those feelings, then that means the phrase Omen Forth must mean something to you. No! There it goes. We did it. Noise level 0. Bye-bye. There. Noise level 0. Finally. Satara. The dying message consists of 2 words, Owen and Forth. But neither of these 2 words have anything to do with this witness. This topic warrants no further argument. Sure, there may not seem to be any direct connection between Oendo and the message. For now, but why don't you wait and decide what's necessary after you hear my theory? I trust you've hit upon something, Athena. Yep, if my theory is right, we can finally solve the case of Oendo and the mysterious Owen Forth. Well, go on then. I can already tell this promises to be interesting. Now, please share your theory with the court, Miss Sykes. There was something puzzling to me about Oendo's out-of-control emotions just now. Namely, that there were 3 distinct reactions present. I'd never seen that before, and I wondered how it could be possible. Is there a conclusion to this meandering musing of yours? Hold your horses, I'm getting there. So, could a person flip between 3 distinct emotions of such intensity like a switch? In the end, I concluded that it was just wasn't possible. So that's it, is it? A bit unconventional, but I'll grant that it's possible within the realm of psychology. Within the realm of psychology? I'm afraid you'll have to explain it for the old man up here on the bench. Your Honor, my theory is that Uendo has multiple personalities? Whoa! With so many distinct personas, it's clear to me that Uendo has dissociative identity disorder. What does that even mean? Your Honor, the defense would treat this trial as a child's jest. Multiple personality disorder? A preposterous proposition indeed. Would you not agree, witness? How did she know? How did she figure it out? Oh, that's an admission if I've ever heard one. Paul Kunka! I can't believe it. I did it. I did it, Simon. Alright, hold on. Alright. I've read papers on it before, but to think I'd see a case of it for myself. Blimey. Rakugo artists tell stories as different characters, but as different personalities. Hey you, lawyer girl. You got a problem with us, huh? No problem at all. This is all very hard to believe. But now that we've established that the witness has multiple personalities, could each of them please introduce themselves to this court? Uendo Taneda. I'm a Rakugo storyteller, as you know. Hello, everybody. Patches, the friendly jester here. Kisagawa, courtician. And is that all of you? Yes, that's all of us. So there are 3 personalities in total. Uendo, Patches, and Kisagawa, huh? Well, Simon, what do you think now? That you're one lucky duck. Just be glad they were dense enough to help you out. Ah, can't you straight up say I did great for a change? You appear to be quite proud of yourself, defense. But all you have done is infringe upon the privacy of the witness. I couldn't disagree more, prosecutor. Now that we know there are 3 personalities, a new way for us to interpret the meaning of a certain piece of evidence has arisen. A new interpretation? Oh, now I'm very curious. What is this piece of evidence you're talking about, Miss Sykes? Is it the character card? Knowing what we know about Uendo and his personalities, this now makes perfect sense. Okay. I'm thinking... Alright. Okay. Alright. Title deed, autopsy report. This. Sober flower, 2 drink cans in the fridge. Is it just the character cards? Is Owen Fourth referring to, like, a 4th personality? Like, let's try it. The character cards? That's right, Your Honor. Recall the original dying message left at the scene. We didn't have a clue as to what Owen Fourth could possibly have meant. But now, with this new information about Uendo and his personalities, isn't it possible that Owen Fourth actually means a secret 4th personality of Uendo's? A personality named Owen? What? Paul Kunka. Uendo must have kept his dissociative identity disorder from us because he didn't want to be associated in any way with that dying message. No, that's not why. We kept our disorder a secret for a different reason altogether. Oh, we've been taking advantage of our affliction to act out various Rakugo characters. If word of this got out, well, our reputation as Rakugo artists would be tarnished, as would the Tornado name. That's why we kept it a secret from everyone except members of the Tornado School. But really, there is no fourth personality. It's just the three of us in here. A plausible enough sounding story. But it doesn't prove you didn't rearrange the cards, does it? But... Satura! Oh, I will concede that it's highly likely the witness rearranged the cards. Is Prosecutor Sadmari actually agreeing with us? However, is it not also possible that the accused killed Master Tornado? And then left that message in order to frame the witness? And upon noticing the cards when he found the victim's body, Uendo rearranged them. A fantastic tale, but a tale nonetheless. No one outside of the Tornado School knew about Uendo's multiple personalities. Uendo just finished saying so herself. Ah, that is a true but ultimately meaningless point. The witness was only in the dressing room for 2 or 3 minutes. That's far too little time to commit murder, wouldn't you say? Then who's to say he couldn't have done it before his discovery? That spring chick memory of yours. Have you already forgotten Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony? Simon's testimony? Oh! Geru escorted me to the dressing room, but we heard the sound of Rakugo being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait in the hall until he was done. That's right. Until just a few moments before Uendo entered the dressing room, Typhoid Tornado was confirmed to still be alive. Ah! None! Not only that, but Uendo was on stage until just before he discovered the body. A bulletproof alibi that I have already confirmed with several audience members. Oh no! I also heard that his Rakugo performance that day was a steaming pile of... Well, you get the picture. Yes, I'm afraid so. Really stunk up the stage, I did. And yet, I have a perfect alibi. Indeed. Why not land the coup de grace on the victim by describing your alibi, witness? Okie dokie smoky. Zoom. Uendo's alibi. I was on stage until just moments before I went into the dressing room. The entire audience was my witness. But my performance was a huge bust. Not a single soul laughed. I'll never be able to live down how terribly I bombed during that very important show. Uendo was on stage before he found the body, so he could not have committed this crime. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. It is time to let it all go, defense, and move on. Nah, we'll get this, Prosecutor Sadmari. The Right Anything Agency never gives up. We fight to the bitter end. Allow me to say this once more. Let it go and move on. And allow me to say once more, I'm never giving up. Let it go and never! This is pointless. You should have taken advantage of this opportunity while you could, you foolish child. Your worthless convictions only serve to prolong the accused's suffering. Sadmari's getting more and more aggressive with people, and I think it's because he's had his butt handed to him twice now from the Right Anything Agency. With Apollo beating him first, and then Phoenix, and now looks like Athena's giving him the old slap. If words will not sway you, then perhaps pain will. Oh no. Oh! Oh no, anything but this. Huh. Judge, please. What's the big idea, Prosecutor Sadmati? That was but a small dose of punishment for your misguided convictions. Are you now a bit more inclined to give up as instructed? As if! In that case, you must require another dose. Not bloody likely. I don't give two flips about your beliefs. But if Sykes Stoner were to submit to you here, I won't be able to get some good sober anymore. That's right! For Mr. Wet's future and Prosecutor Blackwell's stomach. I will never give up. You will rue those words, defense. Of that I can assure you. Oh, cross-examine this on. Windows LOI. Oh, goodness. I was on stage just moving. Oh. Okay. Hold it. How can we be sure it was you who was on that stage? Are you asking whether it could have been some imposter? I guess so. Unlike a big arena, a Rakugo theater is a cozy little place. It would be hard to fool an audience in such an intimate setting, don't you think? Yeah, I guess you're right. Good. I'm glad we could clear that up, because I guess you could say the entire audience was my witness. Was there anything special about the stage or your performance that you can tell me? For example, were the lights dimmer than usual? Were there any problems or accidents? Not a thing. Everything was the same as always. Mr. Prosecutor, you questioned the audience, didn't you? Yes, of course. Apparently, nothing seemed amiss to them except, well, one small thing. One small thing? Oh, it's so embarrassing. I tried my best. Really, I did. But my performance was a huge bust. Oh, I think we so laughed. Do you have any idea what went wrong? Huh. Not sure if it was my performance or if it was just that particular audience. Or maybe it was that story I picked. But even every entertainer knows that this kind of thing happens from time to time. I guess that makes sense. Still, I wonder how he could have flopped at his own commemorative show. Huh, maybe I should dig into things a bit more. What did you perform? Could you tell me which Rakugo story you performed? I could, but I'm not sure if it would mean anything to the uninitiated. Well, even if I might not get it, can't you at least try me? Alright, if you insist. The story I performed is called Tokisoba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Time Soba, huh? Maybe Uendo's right. He's only said the name of the routine and I'm already lost. Ah, so you performed Time Soba, did you? What? You know it, Prosecutor Sadmati? In the course of my studies last night, I became familiar with a number of the stories. I must say, defense, you would do well to prepare before your next trial. Ah. Simon, what's Time Sober about? Look it up yourself. Allow me to give an overview. Hold on. The story takes place on a winter's night. A man orders a bowl of soba at a street stall. How you doing, sir? I see you got some seaweed top tangy soda and mixed toppings shippoku soda. I'll have a bowl of shippoku, my good man. It sure is a cold night, isn't it? But there's nothing like a hot bowl of noodles and soup to warm the soul. You know it, sir. One shippoku coming right up. So, how's business? Not so great, sir. Is that so? Well, that's great, because things can only get better from here, right? Wow, prosecutor! The customer talks on and on like this. Finally, when he is done eating, he goes to pay for his soba. So how much do I owe you? That'll be 16 won, sir. I see. Sorry, but I only have small change on me. I count the coins into your palm, so could you hold out your hand for me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, what time is it? It's 9, sir. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Thanks, and bye. Ha 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 ha! Very well done, Prosecutor Sadbody. That was excellent. Huh? I don't get it. What was so funny about that? The funny thing is that he gave one less coin because he was counting out and he asked them to say the 9, even though they were just saying the time, and then he didn't actually put a coin there. Don't you see? The customer paid with coins, counting them out one by one. Then, just after counting 8, he asked about the time, and the sober vendor answered with 9. Oh, now I get it. He made the vendor say 9, and then he continued counting from 10. Exactly. He cheated the sober vendor out of 1 mon with his smooth talking. The story continues with another man who saw the whole thing and tries to do the same, but he bungles the trick and ends up paying more than 16 mon for his sober. The story ends on that is the punchline. You can look up the rest of the details yourself, or I'm sure Prosecutor Sad Monk over there would love to perform it for you after court. So basically it's a story about a man cheating on his sober bill. That's kind of petty, isn't it? Is that really all you have to say about this classic story? Time sober is such a well-known staple of Rakugo. It's skill of the artist. Fine, so you studied a lot. But we haven't the time for a lecture detour right now, Prosecutor Sad Monk. Aw, I wanted to hear a little more, but I suppose it is off topic. I do love seeing prosecutors go back and forth, since prosecutors are so, like, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for this. And so the fact, but then they're always doing their own little antics. So the fact that there's a prosecutor that's doing his own antics, and then there's another prosecutor who's like, I don't have time for that. And then he does his own antics, and the other prosecutor goes, we don't have time for that. And then he does his antics. Great. Getting back to the matter at hand, Miss Sykes, the witness stated that the story I performed is called Toki Soba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Would you like to add the statement to his testimony? Should I have that statement added to the testimony? Yeah, why not? I didn't see what could be bad about that. Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to have it added. Very well. The story I performed is called Toki Soba, otherwise known as Time Soba. I need to make sure because I remember Time Soba being mentioned in here. Okay, so that was Master Tornado's. Master Tornado was supposed to perform that. Uendo, isn't there something odd about the routine you performed? Odd? No, I didn't think there was anything odd about it. But that's exactly what I find odd. The fact that you didn't think it was odd. We are discussing the witness's alibi at the moment, defense. The show's program is completely irrelevant. That's where you're wrong, Prosecutor Sadmadi. The reason being, it contradicts the statement the witness just made. Uendo, do you know what this is? No, what is it? This is an invitation to the show, sent from Master Tornado to Prosecutor Blackwell. It included in the invitation is a rundown of the show's program, which clearly states that Time Sober was to be performed by Master Tornado himself. No. Uendo, why did you perform the routine your master was scheduled to do? Well, you see, the reason for that is... How do I say this? You see, let's say it was a prank. That's right, it was just a little joke, you see. I was trying to surprise Shisho by performing his routine before he did. I don't know if I buy that. Was doing the victim's routine really just for laughs, or... Hey, didn't Simon happen to hear Time Sober coming from the dressing room? During Uendo's performance on stage? It seems like too much of a coincidence. Wait, can it be? What's the matter? You look like a hen with a dozen eggs to lay. Stop comparing me to birds. Is she getting at the TV was on in the room? Then cease this bird brain timidity. If something has occurred to you, then lay it out for us already. Don't breed resentment in those watching your performance. Is that a bunch of puns? Breed, watching? Okay. I don't have a ton of confidence in this theory, but here goes. Huh! It looks like Uendo's alibi checks out, Your Honor, but even though he was on stage at the time, he may have been trying to obfuscate a crucial detail about this case. Are you referring to the sober bill the man tried to skimp on in the witness's story? I'm not talking about the Rakugo story, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry, but then what are you talking about, Miss Sykes? What Uendo might have been trying to deceive us about was the time of the victim's death. Uendo tried to deceive us about the time of the victim's death. What? Eek! What gibberish. Prosecutor Blackwell even testified to the time of the victim's death. I know. But he only testified that way because he and Geiru had been completely taken in. You mean by the sober bill thing? Would you please forget about the story for a second, Your Honor? I was deceived. Pray tell, how did Uendo manage to deceive two people while he was performing on stage? That's easy. All he had to do was use a certain prop in the dressing room. Oh? And what might that be? The prop Uendo used was the television. This TV was used to view what was happening on the stage. Prosecutor Blackwell, when you came to the dressing room, what was Uendo doing? He was performing time sober. Plus, could it be? Yes, it could, and it was. What you and Geiru heard was not Master Tornado practicing his routine. It was Uendo's performance as heard through the TV's monitor speakers. Oh! What? With the TV just inside the inner door of the dressing room, it could easily be heard from the hallway outside. And because we knew that Master Tornado was scheduled to perform time sober, we were easily manipulated into thinking he was still alive at the time rehearsing. Yes, your knowledge of the day's program is why the two of you could be fooled this way. Simon, did the voice you hear belong to Master Tornado? With the doors in the way, I couldn't tell exactly who the voice belonged to. But because I heard time sober, I just assumed it was Master Tornado. Ugh! I can't believe I was taken in by such a simple mind game. All of that is mere conjecture. Where is your proof, defense? Uendo moved the TV back when he discovered the body. After all, he couldn't very well leave it by the door, because then someone might figure out the trick he'd been playing. And there's one more thing about Uendo's actions that's suspicious. And that is? The fact that he flopped so badly on such an important occasion. What's so suspicious about that? Even pros slip up once in a while, you know. But I believe that for this time it was intentional. Because Uendo knew it would be strange to hear after coming from the dressing room. Oh my. Yipes! It's all just a bit too perfect to be sheer coincidence. Plus, if the voice Prosecutor Blackwell and Geiru heard was due to Uendo's scheming, then the victim's time of death could have been earlier than 4 p.m. In other words, Uendo could have killed Master Tornado himself. We've got you by the stones now, Uendo, so you'd better confess everything. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? We demand an explanation. Uendo! I confess. I tampered with the crime scene. You tampered with the crime scene? That's only a half confession. So I'm guessing Uendo didn't do it, but he tampered with the crime scene. So who did it? Is it the defense's claim that Uendo Tornado is a true murderer in this case? If he tampered with the crime scene, then we have to at least consider him a suspect. Now just wait 1 minute. Yes, I admit to messing with the dressing room, but I didn't kill Shisho. Then why did you tamper with the crime scene? I refuse to answer that question. What? If you suspect this witness, then I have a question for you. What could it be this time? Uendo has absolutely no reason to murder Taifu Tornado. After all, why would Uendo kill the man who recognized his skills and promoted him? Alright. I'm going to save it there and come back to it later. See you then. Boop. We are back with more Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. I'm curious about this case, because this case, we started on trial day 1, right? We just started on trial day. There was no investigation, no setup. We were just bam, there on the trial day. So, how many days are they going to be? And what's going to happen? And is it going to be Athena the entire time? Or is Athena just... I mean, I feel like it has to be, right? Because part of this case seems to be about her proving that she is worth her salt as a lawyer. Like, she doesn't need the help of Apollo. I mean, she clearly needs Blackwood's help. So it doesn't quite work. But I think that's fine. Because it's like, she's still the main lawyer behind everything. And she's still doing the main conclusions. And she's also finding stuff that Blackwood didn't find. So I'm fine with that. But I think they can't really switch lawyers and have her character arc still work properly unless part of her character arc was being ashamed that she had to switch out as a lawyer. Anyway, point is, I have no idea where this case is going. It is, I mean, it's probably it's probably the least interesting one of the game so far. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's about tied with case 2, because I think case 2 is also like kind of like it's just an Ace Attorney case, which is still good. The quality is still very high. And it's a good mystery so far. I don't know who did it right now, although I don't like to plan too far. Like, I don't like to predict too far in advance because it's more fun to be surprised. Okay. After all, why would Uendo kill the man who recognized his skills and promoted him? Oh, well, his motive was, I can't think of a single thing. It appears you were also not aware of one other fact. And that is that the accused visited the dressing room before 4 p.m. as well. Is it not natural, then, to suppose that the accused killed the victim at that time? What? Nobody told me Mr. Weddle had also gone there before 4 p.m. We were only discussing the time frame after 4 p.m., so I didn't think to mention it. But now that you have made the time period before 4 p.m. relevant... Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going. So, you really do not know what your client was doing during that time frame, do you? Well, it was all very sudden, and why did you wait until the very last second to contact me, Simon? Don't you give me that look. And just so you know, Bucky never told me he'd visit the master before 4 p.m. either. Ah! This sort of thing is exactly why that prosecutor keeps calling us unprepared. The defense will stop squabbling in this instant. Sorry, Your Honor. Prosecutor Sadbody, please continue. Thank you, Your Honor. Defense, you know of the sober-making implements in that dressing room, correct? Is he talking about the equipment for making soba noodles? You speak of the large bowl that is used to mix buckwheat, flour, and water. The long rolling pin, and the special knife that is used to cut the tough dough into noodles. I just did that because normally my sound is desynced in this game, and I try to sync it up again in editing just so that if I watch the videos back it's not annoying. But the sound is normally desynced because I'm streaming it from my phone to the computer and then recording it. So it's normally desynced. But it's not that desynced right now, I don't think. I think it's actually pretty on point. Okay, here we go. Precisely. These tools all come from the accused's soba shop. You mean they didn't belong to Master Tornado? Mr. Wet had visited the dressing room to give the victims a soba-making lesson, and that visit was before 4 p.m. I'm afraid that after the accused needed the dough and made those noodles. Huh? He committed the act of murder. But wait! That doesn't add up. If Mr. Wet killed the victim before 4 p.m., why would he return to that room at a later time? Oh, is it Mr. Wet? It is. I gotta try to remember my voice from him.
What's over? You're getting caboodle when it comes to noodles.
Oh my!
Hi, Miss Jiggity. Hey, Simey. The reason I went back is because Master Tornado ordered uncooked noodles.
Mr. Wet?
Yesterday, I brought noodle making tools to the dressing room at around 2 p.m. That's when Master Tornado ordered uncooked soba noodles and stock up on.
Uncooked noodles to stock up on?
Yes, ma'am. Master Tornado kept a supply of soba noodles from my shop in his fridge. Whew. He only had one serving left, so I went back to my shop to get some more.
One serving of noodles in the fridge, but I thought the fridge was practically empty. Huh. Anyway, the whereabouts of the missing noodles isn't all that important now. You ran into me and Gayru when you came back to deliver the uncooked soba, correct?
That's right, Simey. I made time out of my busy day to deliver him the noodles. And you know what? He ignored me when I called to him from the inner doorway. He just kept mumbling Rakugo lines for ages, so I got mad and went back to my soba shop.
Ah, so that's why you got mad. If what he's saying is true, then there's no way you could have been the murderer.
I swear I'm telling the truth, Miss Chicken.
But bailiff, quick! Get this man to the infirmary. Interesting. Well, I dare say he's quite the handful. Your Honor, please accept the statements Mr. Wedge made just now into evidence. I believe the accused's statements about going to the room at around 2 p.m. is true, for it falls within the victim's estimated time of death. That opens up the possibility that the crime was committed between 2 and 4 p.m. That's some critical information. Yes, Your Honor. But other than that one point, Mr. Wet's statements are dubious and without proof. But they are the words of the defendant himself. Simon, back me up here. He has a point. If I were the prosecutor, I wouldn't accept them either. Well, I understand the defense's feelings on the matter. This court is unable to accept anything other than the time the defendant made his visit. Now what do I do? I trust you have no further objections, defense. At last, the time has come to send the soul of the victim onward to the Twilight Realm. What are you yammering on about, Prosecutor Sadmonk? We still have something we need to question Uendo about. We do? Like what? Well, don't just stand there. But we don't have any evidence left to present. Have you forgotten already? Isn't there still a hidden witness you have yet to question? A hidden witness? Oh, that's right. Your Honor, there's still one more issue we haven't finished discussing yet. Is it the Owen thing? Oh? And what is this bit of unfinished business? We haven't finished discussing this issue related to Uendo. Owen, right? We still have to discuss the possibility of a fourth personality, the one named Owen. Are you suggesting that this fourth personality of Uendo's might be the true culprit? Jeez, not that again. I told you we don't know anything about this Owen. Look, Uendo, I know you don't have any motive to kill your master, but this Owen may have one for all we know. Come clean now, Uendo. You've got another personality stashed away, haven't you? Please tell us everything you know about Owen. That's enough. The witness has already stated that he knows not of this Owen character.
Bravo! You tell him, Mr. Prosecutor.
Hey, Patches. If you claim you don't know Owen when you really do, that's tantamount to perjury. If you want to exercise your right to remain silent, however, well, that's a different story. Do not listen to the depraved prosecutor. Witness, you will not be tainted with his evil. I love Blackwell. Do you have any idea how dark and cold a prison cell is? I think I love Blackwell more in this case than all of Dual Destinies. And I liked him in Dual Destinies. But man, is he good when he's on your side.
I exercise my right to remain silent.
What's this now? Changing horses in midstream, are you?
Shut up. I will remain silent and that's it.
Patches, you fool! You stay out of this! Patches is not the brightest bulb in that box you call a noggin, is he? The fact that he switched from I don't know any Owen to I will remain silent is proof that he does know about Owen. There it is again. Simon's formidable psychological manipulation tactic. I'm sure glad he's on my side today, yeah. And Sad Marty is super not with these sorts of tactics. You dirty, despicable, depraved prosecutor. You are leading the witness. Witness, there is no need for you to submit yourself to the defense's questioning. Your Honor, Uendo is definitely hiding something. Please allow me to question this witness about the existence of Owen. I suppose only this witness can confirm or deny the existence of Owen for us. Very well. I will allow the defense to proceed. Grrr, Polkunka. Zoom, zoom, zoom. About Owen. I never met any personality named Owen. Patches was just blurting out nonsense in a panic.
We're always aware, so we definitely noticed if a personality like that showed up.
How dare you treat me like a criminal based on mere conjecture? Wow, how am I supposed to deal with the testimony of 3 personalities? Unless you can prove the existence of Owen here, it's all over. You'd best screw your courage to the sticking place and attack that testimony head on. Alright, I will. Just stop piling pressure on me. I have to draw out some info, anything to drag Owen out into the open. That's the game telling me to press this statement. So I will. I'll press the statement. Alright, here we go. I never met any personality named Owen.
Hold it.
Met, huh? Is that how you experience each other? Like meeting people on the street? Well, it's more like all 3 of us are always here. And the personality that's most suited to the moment is the one that comes out. So, when you're out, Uendo, what are the other 2 doing?
Well, we never know when our turn will come, right?
So we stand by and listen. So that means all 3 of you share the same memories? I never really thought about it, but I guess that's right. I see. Thank you. Please continue. Patches was just blurting out nonsense in a panic. Patches, can I have a word with you, please?
Why, hello. You rang?
You said at first that you didn't know anybody named Owen, but then you exercised your right to remain silent. Were you afraid of committing perjury?
Well, you see...
I'll take over from here if you don't mind. Listen, I hate to say it, but Patches is about as smart as a sack of rocks. If you grill him with a bunch of highfalutin words, he's going to want to keep silent. I see. So looking after loose-tongued patches is your role, is it, Mr. Kisagawa? Well, I don't know about that, but anyway. I do know that Patches was just flustered and that's why he decided to remain silent. Interesting that Athena changed to Miss Kisagawa, didn't she, just then? Yeah. Miss Kisagawa. So, that's interesting because I don't know, does Uendo? Yeah. Uendo identifies as male, but I guess Kisagawa identifies as female. Interesting. Okay, keep going. I do know that Patches was just flustered and that's why I decided to remain silent.
We're always aware, so we definitely noticed if a personality like that showed up.
But what if, for some reason, you three were unconscious at the time of the incident? If the three of you weren't alert and aware, what would happen? What would happen? I'm not even sure what you mean. I mean, you three share the same memories, right? But what if Owen is different? What if he has memories separated from yours? Maybe Owen emerges when the three of you are unaware or unconscious. Instead of speaking as if this fourth personality is a foregone conclusion, I suggest you prove his existence first. Well, we've already seen 3 personalities. A fourth wouldn't be a stretch. You dishonor the victim and this court by jumping to such conclusions without proof. Have you ever heard these old sayings, Prosecutor Sadmati? What happens twice will happen thrice. If you see one, there are likely 30 in your home. I'm basing my theory on such premises. Comparing us to cockroaches, do we bug you that much, girlie? But how do you intend to prove it? How will you prove that all 3 personalities became unconscious, as you say? Unless you can do that, all of this talk is merely empty speculation.
Well,
Don't be so timid. If you don't have it, then find it. Look for something that could render Uendo and the others unconscious. Simon's right. I can't back down now. For my client, Mr. Wet, I have to... Wait. Mr. Wet?
let me rest. Maybe if I were a lump of regular flour dough for udon noodles. But I'm fresh, like my soba. And you don't let soba dough rest. It's all about the 3 freshes. Grind that buckwheat seeds fresh, cut the dough fresh, and boil the noodles fresh.
He's blacked out. Mr. Wet? Fully unconscious? Wait a minute. I think I've got it. Miss Sykes, do you have proof to back up your theory? I have no idea. Okay, let's look at everything. So we've got this, blah, blah, blah. That's fine, whatever. Okay. 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 Bucky Wet entered at 4:10, left at 4:20. Uendo discovered the victim's body upon entering the room after Bucky left. Before Bucky came to the theater, Gary was outside feeding her dog a number of dumplings. The dog buried his leftovers in the yard. There's a card of cards. There's resting, do not disturb. I don't know if I have proof. I already saved it though, so let's say yes. Yes, Your Honor, I do. The proof is right here in this crime photo. It is? In that case, please point out what supports your theory. This, most likely, is what caused Uendo to lose consciousness. Oh, he was drunk. This is probably what made Uendo lose consciousness. Ah yes, the sake. And isn't it just like Master Tornado to pick a fine brand like camel? Sake? Oh, you mean rice wine? Oh please, don't call it rice wine. That's so unsophisticated, and it's not even wine. Silly girl. I must agree. You need to become more cultured, Athena. Tomato, tomato. It's made of rice, and people get drunk from drinking it, right? It's called sake. End of story. Fine, sake it is then. Ay, caramba, everybody's so touchy about these things. I recall Master Tornado would often have a drink or two before performing. He said it made him more eloquent. Drinking too much of the stuff can make one lose consciousness, though, of course. And look, there were 2 glasses on the table. Uendo, I believe your master offered you some rice, sake. And then, you must have drank too much and passed out. That's when your fourth personality, Owen, emerged. I drank sake? Oh, that's a good one. We have a real sweet tooth, you see, so yes, we did accept a sugary red bean bun, but since we really dislike sake, we said no, thank you to that.
Believe it or not, we're real weak when it comes to booze. Even a tiny drop can knock us right out.
So you see, I had a sweet manju bun, but I didn't drink any sake. What? But that can't be right. The defense demands that the glasses be examined right away. You amateur, did you really think I had not already done so? Your foolishness is beyond the pale. Don't tell me. There was no trace of the witness having touched either of the glasses, naturally. Right, of course. Miss Sykes, would you like the witness statement added to his testimony? Yes, please, Your Honor. Very well. I had a sweet manju bun, but I didn't drink any sake. Let me save once again. Could the bun have had alcohol in it? Is there any proof of that? That the bun contained alcohol? Because there's the buns down there. And there's half a eaten bun there. Okay, I mean, it's possible. Let's just press for now. So if you had even a tiny sip of sake, you'd conquer it out, huh? That's why you didn't touch the glass that Master Tornado offered, correct? Yes, that's right. Then maybe you ate something that had sake in it as an ingredient? I don't recall doing anything like that. He doesn't recall doing it. But that doesn't necessarily mean he didn't. He might just not have known that he did. I'd better take another good look at the evidence. So he didn't drink any sake, huh? Oh boy, now we're in trouble. That kind of answer is exactly why Sad Monk keeps insulting you. Now, use your head. There are countless ways Uendo could have gotten sake into his mouth besides drinking it. Well, I don't know about the countless part, but nothing. Give it some thought and you'll figure something out. Okay, so I guess they're getting at the bun thing, right? So the witness must have had something that contained sake. Is there anything in the court record that hints at something like that? Well, is it just the photo? Am I just presenting the photo? I feel like most of this case has been me talking about that photo. So I'm gonna save it. Once again, I keep saving it all the time. Because none of this implies sake. No. So it's gotta be this. It isn't. Am I dumb? And this evidence proves it. Wild guesses incoming? Widget, shush, you're not supposed to tell. That strange device says what you're really thinking, doesn't it, Miss Sykes? In other words, the only real nonsense here is your wild guess, isn't it? Youch! There too, Widget. That's a pretty funny dialogue. You had a sweet manju bun, but you didn't drink any sake. The thing about the sweet manju bun is Uh... Thing about the sweet manju bun is, thing about the sweet manju bun is, okay, that's camel, resting do not disturb. I mean, like what? Is it something about the corridor cards? Nope. I'm just trying stuff right now because that's that panda over there. What he thinks. Is there really a contradiction here, oh noble panda?
No, there is no contradiction. And there you have it. If Mr. Panda says there is none, then it must be true.
These dialogues are great. Yikes. Down boy. Nice panda. I can consult. But I don't want to. Is it the note? Because there's this, resting do not disturb. But, like, how does that help? Wait! Oh, hang on. Is this what it is? Is it that the buns are camel branded? The manju buns, they're camel branded. They're alcohol branded. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go return to title and get my health back. But I think that's what it is. I think it's that the buns are alcohol branded. And you can see by the note that he left, and it's like clearly ripped off of that box. And it has the camel symbol on it. Although, if this is the answer, I think presenting the photo should have potentially worked, but... ah well. This shows what most likely made Owendo lose consciousness. That note. Are you feeling lightheaded, child? Or perhaps a bit peckish? I'm not hungry, and my head feels just fine, thank you very much. Look at the paper this note is written on. Isn't there something familiar about it? What exactly is your point, Defense?
This faint design here reminds me of the paper from...
Yep, it's a piece of the wrapping paper on the box of manju buns by the victim on the floor. Owendo, you may not have drunk any sake, but you did eat a sweet red bean bun, right? Well, yes, that's right. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, Owendo, but I believe the manju you ate caused you to fall unconscious.
The bean bun? But how?
Because those buns contained a secret ingredient. A very punchy secret ingredient at that.
A punchy secret ingredient?
Yes. The design on the wrapping paper matches that of something else in the room.
It does?
The design on the object matches that of the manju box's wrapping paper. I mean, yeah, come on. That's just the Dora the Explorer puzzle.
The camel pattern. It's the same as the one on the camel brand sake.
So,
just as Owendo said, he didn't drink any sake per se.
But he did eat some.
Impossible.
Owendo had a camel brand red bean bun, which boasts a nice shot of sake as one of its ingredients.
So the defense is claiming that Owendo passed out after consuming a camel sweet bun, which allowed a fourth personality named Owen to emerge. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. That's exactly what I'm claiming.
But there's one thing that bothers me. Wouldn't the alcoholic content of the buns evaporate as they steamed? In order to give them a stronger flavor, some manju are specifically made to retain much of their alcoholic content as possible.
Huh. What kind of lightweight do you think I am? Even I wouldn't pass out from eating a simple manju. Then how about we test that theory? What do you say, Your Honor?
Seeing is believing, as they say. Very well, I will allow a test.
Ooh, exciting. Thanks, Your Honor. That's cute. Simon, go buy us some camel manjo on the double. And don't forget to get me one too, okay?
Oh, why must I?
And while you're at it, Prosecutor Blackwell, you will get one for me as well. I love the judge.
I'm not the courthouse stable boy, you know.
His bird?
Yes, but just this once. I'll acquiesce. Taka, I'm counting on you. And all of you had better pay me back. Aw, but I thought it would be your treat, Prosecutor Blackwell. What a shame. Now then, let us adjourn until the manjo arrive by carrier hawk. Court will reconvene as soon as Taka returns.
Oh, that's great. That's really funny. To be continued. Well, okay. But court's gonna reconvene, like, after a recess. So, I wonder, is this halfway through the trial? Is this actually just a one trial, 1 day event? That'd be pretty crazy. Because that only really happens in first cases of the game. And I feel like people would be upset about that. I don't think I would. Because it's not like... I mean, like, the investigation part is great and worth the payoff. But also, the trial is the best part of the game. So having a case be just trial, I'm okay with that.
Now that the sweet buns have arrived, this court is back in session.
As long as it's not like every time. If the entire game was only trials, it would be missing that little spark that the investigations gave it. Go on, Uendo, eat up.
Nice flavor. You can really taste the sake. That was delicious.
Yes, a unique sweetness in the faint aroma of sake. Yet, I hardly think that anyone could pass out from eating something like this.
What's the matter, Uendo? You're not afraid of a tiny manju, are you? Or are you scared of how many calories it has?
Don't be ridiculous. A sweet little snack like this couldn't possibly... I mean, it could never...
Less bleating, more eating, witness.
Nah, fine, whatever. See, I told you, I didn't offend me in the slightest. We might be a lightweight, but come on, nobody's that light. Seriously, nobody's getting drunk off a one bun. Oh, Owen? 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 Oh. There's Owen! I assume. It looks like it worked.
Oh my! Witness, please tell the court your name and occupation.
Hmm? Huh. Oh. My name is Owen. I'm 5. You're 5 years old. Am I in trouble? Please don't yell at me. Oh.
So he's Uendo's fourth personality.
I hardly think a child like him could have had a motive to murder a victim. You were adamant that Owen did not exist for so long, and now as soon as Owen appears, you hear he's 5, and you're like, oh, he's a kid, he couldn't have done it. And even if he had a motive, could he have actually committed the murder?
That's a very good point. Owen does appear to be very timid and weak.
It seems the defense was hoping this hidden personality would be the real killer. But now that he is standing here before us, it is clear that none of Uendo's personalities can be the killer. Where can I even go from here?
Shisho?
Owen, do you know something about what happened to your master? Come on, buddy. Won't you tell Auntie Athena what happened?
What a scary lady.
I wonder what they did in Japanese for the Auntie Athena type thing. I wonder if they did like Oni-san or something, you know? Oh, One-san. Not Nissan, not Ne-san, One-san.
Oh, what a scary lady.
I'm not scary. Look at Annie's big smile. Tell me about your master, please. Pretty please, with sugar on top.
Okay. Shisho was super nice. He always played with me. Just like a real grandpa. I loved Shisho.
Athena, do you sense anything behind his words? I sense his sadness. Sadness so pure it's heart-wrenching. But no discord. Prosecutor Sadmati is right. Prosecutor Sadmati is right. Owen isn't the killer. But then, don't you find it odd? Find what odd? Let's review what we've learned so far. Uendo rearranged the character cards to pin the blame on Bucky. Well, that's because the original message implicated Owen. But Owen is only 5 years old, and absolutely adores Master Tornado. Exactly. The other 3 personalities also have no motive for murder. If Owen isn't the true culprit, then the person who first laid out the cards probably wouldn't have been Master Tornado. So then, who did it? Defense? Did the appearance of Owen help you figure anything out? So, someone killed Master Tornado, and then Master Tornado left a message. No! Someone killed Master Tornado, and the killer left a message implicating Owen, and then Uendo came in, saw that message implicating Owen, and rearranged it to implicate Wet. So, we have to, jump over a hoop to jump over another hoop. Through a hoop, I guess, not over a hoop. Why would you jump over a hoop? Interesting. Because, that means that, has it got to be Geru? Geru is, the only one left. That's kind of the problem with when they don't have many characters. Geru is literally the only other person it could be. At least from what we know right now. So if it's not Uendo, and it's not Wet, assuming it's not Wet, which we're assuming because he's out offended, then it's Geru. Which makes sense because Geru seemed like she had more to her character design. She has a potential for a freak out in the future. Anyway, did the appearance of Owen help you figure anything out? Yes, Your Honor. I now know who it was that first laid out the character cards. But I thought it was the victim, right? No, Your Honor. I don't believe it was. The one who first arranged the character cards on the table was none other than the true killer. I believe the person who laid the cards out is the very person who killed Taifu Tornado. How quickly you move on to a new target when your own theory proves false. You Polkunan? Yeah, well, you moved on to a new target when your own theory fell apart pretty quickly, I'd say. I don't know what a Polkunan is, but I know I'm definitely not one. And before you start with the sermons, don't you hear me out? Why don't you hear me out? Yes, let's hear the defense's reasoning. Please proceed, Miss Sykes. But if you were bluffing, I won't go easy on you. I understand, Your Honor. Now then, please recall the original crime scene. Well, who did the character cards name when the scene was discovered? Named... Let's see. I believe they implicated the defendant, Bucky Wett. That's right. But we then found out that the message originally read Owen Forth. Oh. Which implicates the young boy, Owen. Exactly. And the person who rearranged the cards was undoubtedly Owendo. Owendo may have kept silent, but we can be sure he already knew his master was dead. His tampering with the crime scene using the TV orbit proves it. Yeah, I confess. I tampered with the crime scene. The reasoning Owendo rearranged the cards and moved the TV was because he saw the Owen Forth message and was convinced Owen had committed the crime. Right on, Prosecutor Blackwell. It would seem that Owen and the other three personalities don't share the same memories. But really, there is no fourth personality. It's just the three of us here. Owendo feared that Owen had killed Master Tornado, so he tried to hide Owen from us. But it turns out Owen is but a 5-year-old child incapable of hurting a fly, let alone his beloved master. So naturally, the culprit must be somebody else. And this somebody else, the true killer, tried to pin the crime on Owen. I see. That does make sense. This is naught but conjecture, composed of half-truths and fantasy. Who then do you maintain murdered the victim? I believe Owen might know something about that. I refuse to allow such impromptu testimony, and from a 5-year-old no less. Such a young child is incapable of producing anything coherent. But... Your desperation is disgraceful. You should realize when it is time to let go and...
I saw it. I saw Shisha getting...
Owen! Shut up for a second. That'd be really funny. She's like, Owen, we're talking! Just ruined her case. You do know something, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh my, is this true? If so, we must have Owen testify immediately. Don't you agree, Prosecutor Sard Marty? It's alright, Owen. Go ahead and tell us what you know.
I saw it. Shisha was standing with a knife in his hand. Blood was dripping onto Shisha's face, getting it all red. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared. I passed out.
This is eyewitness testimony from the moment of the murder. Owen, can you tell us anything about what you saw?
I was so scared. Oh, so scared.
Owen! His emotions are spiraling out of control. Something must have really frightened him. Is he alright? His emotions are running wild because he's trying to recall something frightening to him. I recommend a therapy session right away. I see. Yes, please do whatever you can to help the poor boy. Will do, Your Honor. I'd better find the cause of these out-of-control emotions pronto. Probably the murder that he witnessed, Athena. That's probably the cause of the out-of-control emotions, I would guess.
Shisha was standing with a knife in his hand. Blood was dripping onto Shisha's face, getting it all red. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared I passed out.
Poor kid. He's absolutely terrified of something. Whatever it is, it might be the root cause of his out of control emotions. I better take another careful look at the images. Why careful? Is it just the blood? Like, blood seems pretty terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah, blood was dripping down onto Shisho's face.
Blood? I don't remember seeing any blood in the crime scene photos. Yeah, actually. I guess I wasn't thinking very hard. But he died from suffocation. So it's not his blood. Whose blood was it? Did Tornado kill someone? But there's no dead body. What? What is going on? Besides, if the victim was standing upright, how could blood drip down onto his face? As I expected, all he managed to obtain from a child is a tale he dreamt up. I guess it's a little weird for blood to drip on the victim's face if he was standing up. Unless it dripped down from the ceiling or something. What do you think, Simon? I don't know. Owen's one confusing and upset kid right now. So who knows how accurate his memory is. Maybe it's time for that thing instead. Huh? What thing? That thing you and your cohorts do. What do you call it? Rotate your thinking about? Oh, you mean turn your thinking around? Yes, whatever. It's the same thing either way. No, it isn't. Who ever heard of rotating your thinking? I mean, rotate is... Hey, wait a minute. What? You know what, Simon? In this case, I think rotate might just work perfectly after all. Come again. All I have to do is rotate things by 90 degrees. When he saw his master, Owen must have been... Right. Let's think about this. Lying on the floor, doing a handstand pressed flat against the wall. Doing a handstand, he'd be upside down. If Owen was lying on the floor, then maybe he would look at him. Oh, if Owen's lying on the floor, he'd look to the side, he would see Uendo possibly holding a knife and quote unquote standing up. Let's try that. Owen must have been lying on the floor when he witnessed his master's murder. What? That's the conclusion I arrived at when I rotated my thinking by 90 degrees, which means that all of the visuals in my matrix were off by 90 degrees. And? This means Master Tornado was also lying on the floor, which solves another mystery. And which mystery is that? The mystery of how blood could have been dripping onto the victim's face. It becomes much easier to imagine how that could happen if he was lying down. Like someone bleeding onto Master Tornado from somewhere up above him.
I remember now. Somebody was sitting up on top of Shisho.
So trying to recall his master's bloody killer is what spooked Owen originally. The blood that stained the victim's face red came from the person sitting on top of him. The victim was holding a knife, so he likely nicked his attacker as he was fighting back. This means his assailant was injured on the face somewhere, like the forehead perhaps. Assuming the victim and his attacker were face to face, then yes. I see. So that is what happened. You seem happy about that. But if I recall correctly, the accused has a fresh bandage on his forehead. Does he not? I thought maybe that would be the case. Oh, great. Oh, brilliant. That injury of Mr. Wett's is conclusive evidence that he committed this murder.
Why?
It seems you have dug yourself into a pit you cannot crawl out of. No. Even though I figured out the reason for Owen's out of control emotions, all I did was raise further suspicion against my own client. What do I do now? What's the matter? You aren't thinking of throwing in the towel, are you? But it looks so bad for Bucky. I mean, he had both motive and opportunity. Plus, he has that injury on his forehead. Your Honor, I sense that the defense is finally ready to let it go and move on. Well, Miss Sykes? I understand that you don't want to give up on your client, but I won't allow you to prolong this trial without a good reason. Well, that lawyer did her best, but all the signs point to the defendant's guilt. Maybe it's time she gave up. She tried everything she could. I really, really don't want to back down, but... Silence. Athena, are you having doubts about Bucky's innocence? I wouldn't say that. It's just... Do you remember what you said to Bucky earlier this morning?
You mean you believe me, ma'am?
Of course! No matter what, I'll believe in you to the very end. Were those just empty words? Of course not. It's just that all the cards are stacked against us. Are you still stuck on that line of thinking? Oh! Motive, opportunity, and an injury to the forehead. Is that all it takes to make you stop believing in your client? Tell me again, who are you to Bucky? I'm his Miss Chickadee lawyer. Then do your duty and believe in him until the very end. I will. Simon's absolutely right. I'm Bucky's lawyer, and he's depending on me. What a great scene, having... Like... They couldn't do that in 2D Phoenix, right? In 2D Phoenix, right, they couldn't do that. I mean, it would be very difficult to do that. But in 3D Phoenix, right, they can have him get angry at you and grab you by the collar and pull you in to tell you, like, stop bullshitting. I love it. Defense, please. No fighting in my courtroom. The defense is ready to resume, Your Honor. Prosecutor Blackwell was right, just giving him a pep talk, that's all. Thank you, Prosecutor. I didn't do it for you, your sake. I did it for the future of Wet Sober. I just dropped a cap. There we go. Yeah, I got it. The defense would like to now continue with Owen's therapy session. Owen, would you be alright with that?
Okay. So somebody was sitting up on top of Shisho, bleeding from their head, and smushing something into Shisho's face.
The sober? That's funny. What is it? I still hear discord in Owen's voice, but I don't sense any inconsistencies between his statements and his emotions. And there don't seem to be any contradictions in his testimony itself either. Ah, so that's it, huh? Did you figure something out? Your ability to sense emotions is making you focus too much on his feelings, Athena. But there's actually something he's being very vague about in his testimony. If you can clarify what he's feeling uncertain about with some evidence, you should be able to move forward from there. Okay, that makes sense. I'll give it a try. I'll just update the mood matrix with the new information, and then we'll be ready to go. So I just need to present some evidence on what Owen is being vague about, huh? Interesting.
Shisho had blood on his face and a knife in his hand. He was on the floor and somebody was smushing something into his face. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared I passed out.
Alright. I mean, am I doing this to show that he's smushing the bowl into his face? I think so. Let's put a name to the thing Owen's uncertain of, shall we? By identifying the murder weapon that was used to suffocate the victim. Fortunately for us, I spy the murder weapon right here in this crime scene photo. Unfortunately for you, I spy nothing of the sort. And the police did not spy anything of the sort during their investigation either. I don't know if it's possible. Could he have been suffocated just by the bowl being pressed against his face? Not with any soup or anything in it, not drowned, but suffocated just from the bowl being pressed there. I feel like no. There's got to be holes there. Like, it doesn't fit perfectly to your face, surely, does it? Pray tell, where is this murder weapon you see? You didn't see it because it no longer looks the way it did when it was used as a weapon. This is what the killer pressed into Master Tornado's face. I mean, I was gonna say the ball, but like, you didn't see what it looked like when it was used as a weapon. What does that mean? Oh, it's not that. Okay. I'm just skipping through this. I should have read that out. That's a funny piece of dialogue. Athena psychs out the judge, or tries to at any rate. Yeah, I'm not real psyched up about how that went. Okay. Let's see. Pressed into the face. The bun? The glass? The bottle? The bun thing? This? I mean, like, the table? I mean, the bun? I don't know. No, it's not that. I'm curious. I don't follow what they're saying. Again, in this trial, it's the point at something in the photo ones that are screwing with me. I mean, I was stuck on that TV one for ages because I didn't see the thing. What was pressed into his face? His hand? No. You didn't see what it looked like when it was used as a murder weapon. What was their exact words? It no longer looks the way it did when it was used as a weapon. Ice? Is that possible? Because this is supposed to be sake. Is sake not... Sake is not that color? I don't know. Let's see. Nope. What color is sake? Is sake clear? I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't think I've ever had sake, so... It doesn't look the way it did. I mean, there's not much left, right? Uh-oh. Man, I feel like I'm presenting everything. Like, there's not much left. There's a box. Yep, it's not the box. I've done... Hold on. I'm gonna go back to the title. I'm gonna reload the game. And I'm going to figure out in my head how much I've done. Because I've done the bottle, I've done the bun, I've done the character cards, I've done the bowl, I've done this box. So there is this box. There's this. I guess there's a pillow down there. But it's so, like, the pillow is so off screen, I doubt it's that. No, it's not this. My goodness. Goodness gracious me. Am I dumb? Wait, was he suffocated with this pillow? That would be a very hidden... Yeah, okay. I mean, it makes sense people were killed with pillows, right? But... like, what about this dust? I feel like I'm the dumbest person alive sometimes. I mean, I'm presenting everything. I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. Okay. There's noodles. It's the noodles. The mystery person that Owen saw pressed sober into the victim's face, thereby suffocating him. I grow weary of your tasteless jokes. How could anyone commit murder with soft, delicate sober? The noodles would instantly fall apart if they were pressed into someone's face. Yes, I agree. Would anyone uncooked noodles or whatever, right? Well, I disagree. There is a way the soba could have been used to suffocate the victim. What? You will explain your theory at once, Miss Sykes. To kill Master Tenero, the culprit must have smothered him with uncooked soba noodles. Nope. Wait. The culprit must have pressed uncooked soba noodles into the victim's face. Soba noodles are even softer and more apt to fall apart before they are cooked than after. I verified this myself by preparing and cutting my own buckwheat noodles yesterday. How thoroughly studious of you, Prosecutor Sarmati. You would do well to follow his example, Miss Sykes. I should have known he'd find a way to study soba making last night too. Okay, I guess I thought in my head that didn't make sense. Uncut soba dough? That makes sense. The culprit must have used the soba before it was cut into noodles. In other words, the murder weapon was raw soba dough. What? Order in the court. Yes, soba dough could definitely be used to suffocate someone, couldn't it? Are you alright, Prosecutor Sarmati? I was just letting the soul of the victim know that the accused will finally face justice thanks to the foolish lawyer before me. Huh? What are you talking about? Allow me to summarize your statements. As the accused was killing the victim, he was slashed in the face by the victim's knife. The weapon he used to suffocate the victim with was the dough in the dressing room. He then disposed of the murder weapon by cutting the soba dough into noodles. Ah! Why, you smarmy. Afterward, the accused put the victim's face into the bowl of soba noodles and broth to wash off the blood that had dripped onto the victim's face from his own. And there you have it, the true sequence of events behind this foul affair. Now wait just a minute. I never once said that Mr. Wet was the culprit. Who but the accused knows how to cut dough into noodles' defense? That's a very good point, Prosecutor Sarmati. I heard that cutting soba dough into uniform noodles requires considerable training. But then what about the dying message? How do you explain that? The defendant wouldn't have known about Owendow's own personality. Perhaps the victim was simply playing with the cards, and they hold no other meaning. Perhaps he spelled out Owen's name in jest, sometime before his murder. That's true. From Owen's testimony, it's clear that Master Tornado cared for the boy. It appears we've arrived at a compelling conclusion. Taken together, all of these paint a convincing picture of the defendant's guilt. Owen, is there anything else you can tell us? It doesn't matter how small of a detail, anything will do.
You're scaring me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Owen. Auntie Athena didn't mean to raise her voice. I have to be gentler with him. I can't forget he's only 5 years old. No need to be scared, okay, sweetie? Just tell us anything you can remember.
Well, when I woke up, the person who killed Shisho was standing over me, bleeding from their head.
Owen, you saw the killer's face? Oops, I did it again. So who was it, Owen? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't know who it was.
I'm picking up some noise. That means there's still something to uncover in Owen's testimony. Satara! I don't know what Owen saw, but suffice it to say we are analyzing the dreams of a child. You've wasted enough of our time, defense. Let it go and move on. No, there's still discord in Owen's heart that needs to be addressed. Therefore, I can't give in here. Owen, do you think you can continue a testimony for us?
Okay.
Owen to the new info and run an update then.
Shisho had blood on his face and a knife in his hand. He was on the floor and somebody was smushing dough into his face. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared I passed out. And when I woke up, the person who killed Shisha was standing over me.
Alright, the happy is definitely the issue there. That's pretty obvious. Despite witnessing the culprit's terrible crime firsthand, Owen experienced a positive feeling, one of relief? The person the witness saw was no stranger, rather it was the accused. Therefore, it is only natural he felt some level of relief when he saw a familiar face. Defense, end this madness and sully your soul no more. Owen, who did you see?
That nice smell. I love the smell of that perfume.
It's probably Geiru. Bye-bye.
It's the smell of...
You can do it. Try to remember, Owen.
Oh, the smell of...
Owen? It seems Owen is now resting in the infirmary. They certainly have their hands full today down there. Let's continue with the trial. Despite Owen's testimony, it is the opinion of this humble servant of the Holy Mother that the child's words were insufficient to clear the accused of suspicion. But what about the scent of perfume Owen mentioned? I believe it's a clue that will lead us to the true culprit. But there are thousands of perfumes in the world. It could even be the scent of the hair product that the accused uses. He does have one amazing hairstyle, so that's certainly possible. The witness is a 5-year-old boy. He cannot tell the difference between conventional perfumes and hair products. Why couldn't you have gone for a crew cut or something, Bucky? What's more, the only person who can cut soba noodles with such precision is the accused, and no other. Oh man, how am I supposed to argue with that? And so, the person Owen saw at the scene of the crime can only be the accused, Bucky Wet. What the? Bucky!
Hey! I never use hair products or anything with a smell. If I was something like that, the smell of getting sober. Huh? Boom! Check it!
What's he doing? Oh, he's delivering soba. Mr. Wet, aren't you supposed to be resting in the infirmary?
Huh, whatever. You didn't gotta let my soba stink of perfume. Try that chilled soba for yourself, eh? See?
I believe we have no choice but to try it. Strictly for examination purposes, of course. Now then, let's dig in, shall we? Itadakimasu. That was delightful. Well, I'm satisfied that there are no traces of hair products or perfumes in Mr. Wet Soba. First, sweet bean buns, and now savory soba. What a delectable trial this has been. The texture is different from the soba I had the other day. It reminds me of a dish we have in Kurain called banupun.
What do you think, Miss Chicory? My soba's pretty good, isn't it?
It's delicious, don't you think so, Miss Simon? It still pales in comparison to his late father's cuisine.
Simon, why you always gotta be so hard on me?
Bailiff, take the defense back to the infirmary at once for some rest.
Rest? Hey, I ain't a lump of plain old weedy udon dough, you know. It's fresh like my soba. You don't get dough fresh or rest. It's about 3 freshes of soda. Grind the seeds fresh, cut the dough fresh, and boil the noodles fresh.
Good grief. What a defendant. At least Bucky wasn't the source of the perfume smell. Wait, smelly perfume. It looks like you remembered something. The phrase smelly perfume reminded me of a certain somebody. Oh? And who might that be? There's only one person that comes to mind. The phrase smelly perfume reminded me of this person. Well, it's gotta be Gator, right? I mean, it can't be anyone else. Geiru Tornado? Yes, she did smell very nice, didn't she? Just a moment, defense. You would throw suspicion on Geiru now because of a scent. Your Honor, there is no need to go along with these ever-changing claims of the defense. I suppose their claims have been awfully inconsistent. But Geiru could have been at the crime scene. Yes, but... You'll get to see those balloons of hers if we call her back to the witness stand. How vulgar. His Honor is not interested in such things. Setting the matter of her balloons aside entirely, I do believe it's appropriate to ask Geiru some questions given the circumstances. This has nothing to do with her balloons, of course. Thank you, Your Honor. Polkunka. Oh, good job, Athena. Thank you for calling this discipline and tornado school of Rakugo back for an encore. It's me, the balloon artist you all know and love, Geiru Tornado. 1, 2, balloon. What wonderful balloon artistry. Your Honor, please. Now then, what would you like me to make for you this time? Actually, I called you back for more testimony. But I'm all talked out. This case has left me completely deflated. What? You didn't find that funny? Anyway, what exactly is going on, Simon? It seems the person who murdered Master Tornado was wearing perfume. And you were the only person I could think of who wears perfume. Wait, you mean I'm a suspect now? Geiru, you knew about Owen, right? Well, yes. I often played with him at Shisho's request. So that means you could have left that fake dying message, right? What? Just because I wear perfume and know Owen? You think I'm a murderer? Oh, how could you? The witness is absolutely right. With no evidence but the distorted memories of a small child. It is outrageous of the defense to accuse this woman. That's right. You don't even have any proof. You may step down from the stand, Geiru. The defense does not have one scrap of evidence that connects you to the crime. Wait just 1 minute. I may not have proof, but Owen's testimony is still... Enough. Please feel free to leave, Geru. But I'm so close, there must be something I can do. Well, if the prosecutor says it's okay, then I guess I'll be going now. Oi, Geru. You're an entertainer, aren't you? Once you go on stage, it's your duty to complete your performance, is it not? So what are you going to do, leaving So what are you doing leaving halfway through? A bandage on her head. There's a bandage on Geru's forehead. And since we know that Master Tornado's killer has a cut on their face somewhere... Impossible. How did you know, Simon? I didn't, but I had to take a chance and see for myself. Otherwise, your theory would remain a groundless accusation. Your Honor, Prosecutor Sadmati, the scent of perfume and injury on the forehead, these things are perfectly consistent with Owen's testimony. In short, the mysterious individual Owen saw in the dressing room could have been Geru. Miss Sykes, does this mean you are formally indicting the witness for the murder of Typhoon Tornado? Should your accusation prove to be false, hope you are prepared to pay the price in full. Simon, what price is he talking about? I thought that should be obvious. Prosecutor Sadmonk is saying he'll see to it you'll never stand in the court of law again. I must say, though, he knows how to make the trial interesting. Just whose side do you want, Simon? Go on, then. Into the deep end with you. You really have but one choice anyway. Well, Miss Sykes, I'm waiting. With regard to the witness, Geru Tornado, the defense wishes to... Yes, we have to indict her. What, are we gonna not indict her? There's no reason for me to hold back. Not if I really believe in my client. The defense wishes to formally indict Geru Tornado for the murder of Typhoon Tornado. I have tried to be merciful, but now not even your pleas will reach the Holy Mother's ears. You will have plenty of time to regret your decision in the pit of hell. Except I won't need to. The person who murdered the victim was not Mr. Wet. It was Geru Tornado. Oh. That bandage it's just from a silly slip-up I made while cooking yesterday, that's all. What kind of extreme cooking were you doing to cut yourself on the forehead? Well, what can I say? That's what happened. You also don't have an alibi for the period before 4 p.m., do you, Geru? But, I really didn't know anything was wrong until Shisha was found dead. If you don't believe me, then with a twisty twist. And Bloon, there you have it, an adorable little kitty. How could you suspect a cutesy little balloon artist like me? Geru, I've been meaning to say this for a while now, but could it be that you don't have an eye for balloon art? Don't you think I know that? You didn't have to come out and say it. I'm the daughter of a great Rakugo artist. I never wanted to do stupid balloon art. I was supposed to be a Rakugo storyteller too, just like my late daddy. But Shisho told me to do balloon art instead. I guess the victim thought she had no talent as a Rakugo artist either. So you're still gonna suspect a poor little thing like me? Please stop trying to skirt the issue. All it comes down to is the scent of perfume and the cut on your forehead. You and the culprit in Owen's testimony share these two traits. You're dead set on accusing me, aren't you? Well, here's what I have for naughty little girls like you with a twisty twist. I'ma cut you, witch! Go ahead, make me testify all you want. When the truth's revealed, it'll be your balloon or mine that goes pop. Got it? Oh my gosh. Oh my, is this yet another hidden personality? Simon, is everybody in the Tornado School like this? How should I know? Okay, I'm so excited for this, and I think this trial seems to be coming to an end, but I don't have time. It's 2:49, so I need to go to bed. But I'm super excited for this trial. I'm genuinely extremely excited. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So, whew, it's coming. It's coming. The end of this trial, it's coming. I feel like it's gotta be right. I mean, it's coming.